video. It's been a couple of days since I did a live. Kind of got a headache a little bit. Not too much, but whew. Anyway, what's up? Let y'all come in here. So I wonder if any of y'all have seen the video BGS uploaded when it comes to Jason Whitlock. I'm gonna throw that in there. We're gonna talk about the Maria Taylor situation a little bit now that she's no longer with ESPN. We're gonna talk about. I know some of y'all have probably caught the clip of part of the clip of Alicia Watkins, what she said about Kevin. And overall, I'm gonna talk about the myth of black unity, and how you have people that they care more about the idea of it than it actually being real. So we're gonna have some fun for a little bit. So while y'all getting in here, let me give my initial thoughts. First of all, here's the thing. So obviously, Jason Whitlock is a figure that's been on television, so there's a certain era of credibility he's given as he's a guy on TV or was on TV. So there's a certain, and he's recently been on there, so a certain kind of era of credibility he's going to be given just because of that. The reality is, personally, my thing with Jason Whitlock is a lot like Candace Owens. Remember what I've said in the past is I've talked about the difference between people that are pro-assimilation and people that are like actual black conservatives. It is true that part of like his personality may be born out of what is to create an image on television that makes him money. And so there's that. But the thing about it is there's very few people that really try to come at this bias free. So like this is not, like Candace Owens, they have a team they play for. And when I say that, I'm not saying to take away anything he said, but see, what happens is black people that play for the other team, or they try to, or even if they don't play for they don't really look at it from a political standpoint. They may look at it from a just pro-black standpoint, which lends you to be pro-matriarchy in other ways. They're going to look at Whitlock and they're going to say, even though it puts it, here's a good thing. The good thing is it puts it in kind of a higher strata of talking points. Because some people may look and see, okay, what is the actual Monahan report? And then why was the Monahan report buried? Because one of the things Whitlock kept saying was this stuff was foreseen in 1965. So people can't say they didn't know. But at the same time, we know how emotional our people is. And our people will sit there and they will say, oh, well, look at all the racist, coon, Sambo shit Whitlock has said in the past. So they'll try, and it's very convenient that they will associate calling the black community a matriarchy as a way of hating on black women for no reason, aka I'm talking about black men now. You must be racist. So that must be like some shit that white people have told you to say. That's literally what a lot of black men are going to want to say, because again, when you're in delusion, that means you're not looking in logic and you're looking for emotional things to kind of help you accept certain truths that may not be true. People look for comfortable lies. And Whitlock makes it very easy for folks to do that. Like, I can already tell you right now, you look at somebody like Ticket TV, only thing Ticket TV is going to say is, look at all the stuff that Whitlock has said in the past. So, of course, he would say some shit like that because he has a problem. He hasn't said this, but I could imagine he has a problem with Maria Taylor getting paid. Because certain dudes buy into the idea of not that black women betrayed black men in the aftermath of the civil rights movement and went feminist, but they believe in this idea that black women are victims, and that Maria Taylor is in this hyper, she's in this hyper male world, the little black girl that's just being beat up, and all these black men are teaming up against her. That's the narrative. And the narrative is ESPN. And the narrative that these people want to believe is that white people leaked it. See, and this is what's interesting. what's interesting is the narrative is, that white, like that this is being done to her, and black men are siding with white people, because the truth is a lot of black men want to be white men. This is the narrative that a lot of black men believe, because see, the truth is a lot of this shit couldn't happen to the extent that it does happen. No, Whitlock didn't do a 180. Because if you're, think about it, if you're somebody that leans more black conservative, or quote unquote a type of person that would support Trump, that would support a lot of these things, that's more, I call it assimilationist. It's not really so much black conservative, but more black assimilationist types. Then you would, the types that will say, that will kind of say that calling everything racist, then yes, you're going to say anything. There's nothing that's racist. It's only that liberals use racism. There is truth to that. There's absolute truth to that. But this winds up in that. So it's not a 180 for him. It makes sense. You've heard Candace Owens say things. They just don't spell it out like that. So it's just because something's true doesn't mean a certain truth won't be used in certain contexts, even if the context is correct, in order to create a certain narrative. Now, he's correct, but at the same time, what people will, but what people that are more, you already know, the people that hate Trump, that are pro-Democrat, or even people that's not pro-Democrat, if you take the politics out of it, but people that's really pro, well, there's those that want to keep black people apart, and there's those that want black people to be together. But here's the problem. The problem is, what price are you willing to pay for black people to be together? Are you willing for your ass to be subservient to black women to be together? Or are you actually wanting black people to be competitive? And what you have is a lot of black men that they are cool with shit as it is, and not really doing shit, and not really going to where the problem really is, under the delusion that we are together. That's the problem. And so within all of these mixes, you have people with their own biases, and they're not really loyal to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They're loyal to their own biases. So you have a lot of black conservatives that they rail against, and a lot of what they say is correct, but they rail against, they see everything as a cost of doing business. Even if there's a little bit of lies in there, which nothing he said was a lie, but you got to take that into context. And then other people are going to basically say, because it comes out of his mouth and they know his reputation, they're going to say anything that he says is illegitimate, because if it comes out of his mouth, it must be. And they already don't, hold on one second, because I'm going to, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hold on, because my